Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Weekly Entertainment Wrap-up.
That's right. This is the episode where we share with you guys what's hot in entertainment right now, any new potential movies coming out that you might want to go check out, and some oldies but goodies that are coming to Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix in the next week. Stick around, and we'll show you. All right, everybody. So first up on this episode is our entertainment news. Josh, what do we got going on?
Well, J.J. Abrams did an interview with, I believe, Esquire magazine, in which he revealed that they didn't really have a plan for the new Star Wars trilogy. What do you think about that?
Oh, you think?
He confirmed what we already knew.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that you would have a multi-billion-dollar franchise and not flesh the storyline out along the three movies. And it shows, and the movies for sure suffer from it.
Yeah, big time. They totally suffer. I was very disappointed in that whole series, man.
I was kind of with the first one, Force Awakens. I was like, this is kind of a good start. I mean, it was like a retread, so I was waiting to see the other movies. I was hoping that other movies would elevate that, and apparently that one to me is the best one in that series,
I would agree with that. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of any of them, but out of the three, that was probably the best one. I would agree with that.
Star Wars is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I haven't even really gone back to watch that trilogy really at all. I've seen Force Awakens a couple times, but the other two, no, I have no interest in really rewatching them. They're that bad to me.
Yeah, no, they ruined it there, just like they ruined it with episodes 1 through 3. You know, I mean, I don't know what on earth they were thinking with all the the new Star Wars movies.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of 1 through 3, but after watching these, I think they're better. I can at least rewatch them. So, and they got like good music and at least interesting characters that have added to additional shows down the line.
Yeah, could have done without Jar Jar Binks and all that nonsense, but I mean,
that was a miss for sure.
Yeah.
But there you have it. Next we have Cobra Kai announces season 4 with Terry Silver.
That's going to be cool.
What do you think about Cobra Kai?
I love Cobra Kai. Outstanding show. I mean, it's just great seeing all those guys back together. I love how they've gotten pretty much the whole original cast back. I mean, even the episodes where they had Johnny's buddies back, and that was, and even, the one that was going through, he had cancer and he was dying, and he was actually dying in real life, and they paid homage to him and everything. And I thought that was really cool how they did that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's almost like we just saw Corella, and Corella has a little bit of this where it's like told from the villain's perspective, and obviously that's kind of what Cobra Kai does from Johnny's character perspective, which I'm really digging, and I like when they do that, especially when they do it in fun and creative ways. And I love this show. It has the right bit, even though it takes place in current time, it has that right like nostalgia factor.
Yeah, it does. One, it's just got that good, still 80s feel to it, right? Especially Johnny's character.
I mean, he's watching Iron Eagle. Right. He's got 80s music. Right. I love it. I love it.
He says a lot of stuff that most people consider inappropriate today, or back in the 80s. Just that was how it was. It's just It's awesome.
I'm a real big fan of the show, and I can't wait till season 4. So I'll definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to it, especially the fact that they're bringing that character back. I think that's going to be cool, a good addition to it. And just because he was ruthless.
Extreme situations require extreme measures.
Looking forward to it. So Mark Strong said he wouldn't rule out starring in Kingsman 3. You like the Kingsman series?
I did. I actually didn't even see the second one. I saw the first one. I liked it. Haven't seen the second one. I should probably check it out, but I've heard it wasn't as good as the first. But and of course I like Mark Strong, and we just got into talking about him in Corella, right? I mean, he's a great actor. He's he's one of those guys. As soon as you see his face, you're like, okay, I know I've seen him, and you might not know his name, but you've seen him in a ton of stuff.
Now, I love the Kingsman 1. Kingsman 2 was kind of a miss for me. There's some enjoyable scenes in that, but the villain and how that ended up, I wasn't a fan of. It was definitely a little bit of a miss. They're working on a prequel, so that'll be interesting to check out. And then I guess a third one as well to this. So also in the news, Amazon acquires MGM.
Yeah, I'm real curious how that's going to pan out as far as just the movies and all that stuff goes, right? And when MGM creates movies now, they're going to be available for streaming on Amazon, kind of like HBO has their deal right now with with the streaming service, and they're bringing movies on streaming the same day as they're released in the theaters. I mean, I'm very curious if that kind of thing is going to happen now with Amazon MGM.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I already have Amazon, so more movies and stuff like that hit the network. I'm for.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be good.
Okay, and now we got Spider-Man No Way Home news. Rumor is that there's going to be a trailer dropping imminent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that trailer because I do like this new Spider-Man series. You know,
there's a lot of rumors going on about the cast of this. What do you think about that?
I haven't heard those rumors.
Well, essentially, there's rumors that everyone from any Spider-Man movie is returning.
That's right. You're right. Yeah, no, that's it's going to be interesting, right? It's like they're doing Enter the Spider-Verse kind of thing, right? You know, the cartoon that was out, which is a great movie, by the way. You know, I thought that was a pretty excellent cartoon in the way they portrayed everything.
Now, Electro has been confirmed. Doc has been confirmed.
Yep.
Andrew Garfield did an interview earlier this month where he said he has not been called. I don't know if that's misinformation, trying to throw us off the scent, because there are rumors that he's supposed to be in it along with Tobey Maguire.
Right, they said Tobey Maguire's coming back for sure, I thought.
I don't think it's a for sure thing, but I think a lot of people are hoping. I mean, I would love to see that, and it'd be a disappointment at this point if those guys aren't in it. So.
No, yeah, I mean, if they're able to do that and make almost like a live action version of Enter the Spider-Verse, that'd be really cool.
Emma Stone has recently said that she will not be in it as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then now there are rumors that the Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, plays a heavy part in this, even though he has not been officially confirmed. So those are just rumors.
See, and I love Willem Dafoe. That guy's a fantastic actor, you know, and he goes way back, you know, and he's just, he's one of those actors that, you know, I pretty much love everything he does.
What did you think of the other two Spider-Man movies?
The Tom Holland ones are great. I like them. That's probably by far my favorite Spider-Man series so far. I like Tom Holland. You know, he's a good kid. I think he, plays Spider-Man very well. A little bit of comedy in there. You know, especially his interaction with the Avengers and those guys. You know, so I think I definitely enjoyed, that aspect of it. Now, do I like how they did some of the characters like Flash?
I'm not a fan of the Flash.
No,
I'm not a fan or just Flash. I'm not a fan of Mary Jane and what they're doing with her, even though I know she's not Mary Jane. She's MJ, but same difference.
Right, but they basically got rid of Mary Jane and just made a new character.
And I did like the Tobey Maguire ones for those aspects. I think Tom Holland is a better Spider-Man, but there's something about Tobey Maguire, I don't know, that just worked for me. And I really like those movies.
Well, you just got that innocent kid face, you know?
Yeah, and I like the setup, and that the origin story of that one has by far been the best, right?
No, the origin story, yeah, definitely. I mean, because that played along right with the comics origin story.
With great power comes great responsibility. Those lines and stuff like that that were pulled off so well in that.
But definitely not a fan of who they made Flash in these, right? Because Flash is always this big, buff jock who's always picking on Peter Parker. And then the new movie, there's nothing big or buff about this kid playing Flash.
Well, they went a different direction with it, and I kind of commend them there, but this Flash character has really nothing going on. He's supposed to be on the same intellect as Peter Parker, and not really.
No.
And the fact that he's not a jock, it's like, what does he really add to this story? He's just like nothing. An annoying character to me, anyways, in this. So
no, I agree.
I'm not really digging it. What else do we got? We got some Thor: Love and Thunder news.
Yeah, so that there's not a lot out about that right now. We did a little searching. You can't even really figure out right now. There's really not anything about the plot.
But supposedly they begin filming next week.
Soon, yeah. And it's looking like Christian Bale is going to play the main villain. Gore, the God Killer. Yeah. Who doesn't like Christian Bale? Exactly. That guy's phenomenal. Like I said, I think he's one of the best Batmans there's been. Or that probably has been the best Batman besides potentially Michael Keaton. So it'd be great seeing him as a villain in this, I think. I like how they're bringing back the actors, the Matt Damon and some of the others. And then evidently there's going to potentially be a cameo from Russell Crowe in this playing Zeus. So I'm kind of interested to see how it plays out. But now the one thing I'm not looking forward to, I hate when they do this. If you want female superheroes, I'm all about it. Love me some female superheroes, but don't change a male superhero into a female. I don't like how they go that role, and it sounds like they're going to do that. Make Natalie Portman Thor at some point in this one, and I don't like that at all. It's like, if you want a new female superhero that's similar to Thor, then make one, but don't turn a female into Thor.
Yeah, obviously that makes me nervous. I'm not down with that, but I'm hopefully they'll find a creative way to do it. But I mean, that does make me nervous. The last movie, Ragnarok, was so good though. So
that movie was outstanding.
I'm hoping they'll continue the trend with that one. So
yeah, so that's definitely going to be one to just keep an eye out for, and just hope they do right with it. And like I said, I'm not happy with that aspect of it if they end up making her Thor, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, next week, there's some headway on Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah, so it looks like next week they're going to start filming in England. at a big castle there in England. So that's kind of cool. I think, I haven't seen too much about the plot. There's really they haven't really released much. I think they're kind of keeping that hush-hush and close tight. So we really don't know a whole lot about what's going on. We did find out that Shia LaBeouf's probably not coming back in this, which is...
Thank God.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, and hopefully they don't pull any crazy, like, Crystal Skull type nonsense, because that was just, I didn't like that. I loved the first three. The Crystal Skull just wasn't good.
And I think I said Love and Thunder starts filming. It actually wraps up filming pretty soon here. So, but yeah, Indiana Jones, it's up there with Star Wars as one of my favorite movies. That last movie just was not on par with the other movies, and it was a huge disappointment for me. So, I'm a little nervous about this one. Mads Mikkelsen, I don't know how I feel about him. I'm not huge on him.
I love Mads Mikkelsen, man. I'm a big Mads Mikkelsen fan. I like what he brings to the characters that he plays, and I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, and it also stars Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she hasn't been in a whole lot, but we know she was in Solo as the Fembot robot.
Okay, yeah.
That was a huge miss for me, and I had a lot of issues with that in Solo, so that also makes me nervous. I don't know if this is going to take place in the 60s, which would kind of be where Crystal Skull would leave off and put it in the next decade with the civil rights. I don't know if they're going to do something with that or do something completely different. I don't know, but it has me nervous. Spielberg's not directing this one, so it should be a little different. I actually think that's a good thing, though, because he was directing Crystal Skull, and Spielberg lately has been kind of a miss for me. So
absolutely, I agree. I think hopefully, bringing in a fresh director is going to, do some good for this franchise.
Yeah, and this supposedly comes out in July 2022, so we got some time, but it's one of my favorite movies, so we'll definitely be tracking this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it'd be great if they bring back some Kalima.
Well, yeah, I don't know if we'll see all that.
No,
but,
we're probably not going to see that, but
it's also going to be interesting,
Who didn't
too,
love that scene, man? Dude just ripping the hearts out. Kalima! That was awesome.
Harrison Ford ain't getting any younger either, so
he's not, man.
I don't know if he's going to pass on the torch
Indy's
in this
getting old,
one or
man.
what.
Indy's getting old.
I think he's like in his 80s. I mean, he can't be doing this for very long.
No, his back ain't going to be.
I'd like him to take on like a Sean Connery kind of mentor role in this, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys, getting into new and upcoming movies. Billy, what's coming out soon?
All right, so right now we've got Quiet Place 2 out in the theater. We just did a review on that. Evidently, Ryan Reynolds thought it was like the best thing since sliced bread. He's talked a lot about it, said it was a great movie. Yeah, I love you, Ryan. Think your movies are great. You're a great actor. You're funny, but I don't agree with you on that aspect, man. Just didn't hit home for me.
Yeah, the expectations were really high. That first movie was so phenomenal, so we were really looking forward to this. Went out to the theaters. The first movie I've seen since COVID in theaters, and it was a little disappointing. Billy actually gave it a 6 out of 10, and I gave it a 7. It's okay, but compared to the first one, it doesn't live up to the hype.
No,
sorry,
not at all. All right, so next we got Disney's Corella that dropped on Friday on Disney Plus. We watched that one, did a review of it. We both gave it 8s. Thought it was an excellent movie, just well put together, and I was really happy with the way it turned out. And even though you had to pay $30 for it, and that's that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes with stuff like that. And Disney might need to do something about that, but it was definitely a good film. Yeah,
and this movie is in theaters as well. We both gave it an 8. We had no expectations for this movie at all. We didn't even really care to see it, and then when we saw it, we thought it was really good. The cast is phenomenal. The acting's great. They probably give you more story than you expect from a movie of this nature. I really liked it. One of the better live-action Disney movies to come out.
Yeah, probably the best one I've seen, I think. Probably the best live-action Disney I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, check it out. Emma Stone and Emma Thompson are phenomenal.
Yes, they are. Phenomenal in that movie. All right, and then next we got Eternals. That movie's dropping in November. So we just watched a trailer for this movie, and you really don't get much out of it. It's not an exciting trailer. It just they pull up in their big triangle spaceship, and they kind of are hovering over these people and kind of talking to them like, "Hey, we're here to help." But it really doesn't give you a good feel for anything, really, what the movie's going to be about.
Now, what do you think about this cast? So they do have a decent amount of.
So I like the fact that Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie. I mean, what guy doesn't like the fact that those two?
Kit Harington.
Right, and Kit Harington's in it. Yeah, exactly. And then there's some other people in it as well.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this movie. The trailer just didn't do anything for me. These aren't that well-known characters, I would say, in the Marvel universe, but so was Guardians of the Galaxy. But you watch that trailer, and it kind of gets you amped up to watch the movie because they play the music, and it gets you going. There's a lot of comedy. there's really not much of that in this whatsoever. There's no good music, no good action.
No, there's no good comedy, nothing. I mean, they try to be funny in that last scene in the trailer, and it doesn't, it falls flat
for me.
Yeah, exactly, big time. I mean, what we do know about the Eternals, just a little bit of digging, because they're a lesser known Marvel Universe group. Is it, they're basically immortals that come from another world. And they've been sitting on Earth for like thousands of years watching people, but they're not allowed to interfere, right? And come to find out, Thanos was actually an Eternal as well. So Thanos was part of this group of Eternals.
Yeah, and they sound really powerful, and I'm hoping they don't have like the Superman effect where like they're just too powerful, so you don't really get emotionally involved. You don't feel like much can happen. I hope that's not the case, but just researching them and stuff, that they seem like they have, like they all like are super strong and things like that. So I do worry about that.
Yeah.
And I know that some of them like specialize in certain abilities, even though they all have like super strength and stuff like that. The trailer actually shows like super speed and things like that, but it doesn't show much beyond that.
Yeah, you see that one person like looking like the Flash, dashing around everywhere, and that's
reading
really
books really fast and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought it could have been better, but hopefully they still have a lot of time to release additional trailers, and so maybe that's the plan. More's coming to get us amped up by the time of the release.
Because they definitely need to. They want me to see this movie.
What else is coming out?
We got Spirit Untamed, the new DreamWorks film coming out. You got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. Not really my cup of tea. Evidently it's about a girl and her a wild horse and some adventures they have together, I guess.
Yeah, this movie ain't really for us. It looks like it's designed for kids. If you love horses and Taylor Swift, this may be the movie for you. But
like a lot of Taylor Smith music is going to be in it.
Yeah, the trailer, I think that's all that played was Taylor Swift music practically.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it looks like it's a well-put-together movie. I like Jake Gyllenhaal, so it could be okay. Yeah. It's not one I'm personally going to rush out and see or anything like that, but maybe if it's available on streaming, I'll watch it with my kids or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I do, too. If it comes out on streaming, sure, I'll watch it with my kids.
Yeah, and that comes out on June 4th, so...
Yeah.
And the next movie coming out also on June 4th is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Billy, how do you feel about horror movies?
That one I'm looking forward to. I love my horror movies. I like the original Conjuring movies. The first two that came out, I thought they were good. I like how they went with it and just how they put those movies together. I thought the trailer for this one looked really good. They had a lot of good scary stuff in it.
They're bringing back the waterbed.
They are bringing back the waterbed. So if any of you horror fans out there remember Nightmare on Elm Street, remember that scene where homeboy is laying on the waterbed and he flips over and looks, and there's this hot girl inside of it, and she's looking up at him, and he's looking down at her, and the next thing you know, Freddy reaches up, grabs him, and pulls him down into the waterbed. Well, there's a scene similar to that in the trailer for this.
Yeah, it looked really cool. What'd you think about the first two movies in the Conjuring series?
Oh, I liked them. I thought they were good. Yeah, I mean, I like horror movies, and I thought those for recent horror movies, because I like older horror movies better than I do newer ones typically, but for recent horror movies, I thought they put them together really well, and I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, I'm not much of a horror fan, especially if it's not Halloween time. It's hard for me to get into that. I really don't care for slasher flicks too much. I'm more of a story-driven horror, like A Cabin in the Woods, or...
Yeah, it was a good one.
I don't know, would you call Alien a horror movie?
No, Alien is not a horror.
There's some horror elements to...
elements
to Alien.
There might be some horror elements to it. There's some jump scares and stuff, but it ain't a horror movie.
What about The Thing?
It'd be kind of... I don't know. It'd be kind of like calling that'd be kind of like calling... Quiet Place 2 a horror movie, right?
It got a little horror.
Some people might say it's a horror movie, but it's more of like a thriller, right? It's more like a suspenseful thriller movie. It's not really a scary movie. I mean, there's some jump scares in it, but I wouldn't call Quiet Place 2 a thriller or even a horror, even the first one. So,
yeah, I will say, even though I don't really care too much for horror, I really enjoyed Conjuring 1 and 2. I like these type of horror movies. They don't bother me too much. It's just the slasher ones I don't really care for. So I'll probably check this one out and then see how it goes. I do wish it dropped closer to Halloween.
We'll definitely be checking it out, so we're going to do a review on it.
But yeah, and that drops on June 4th. And the next movie trailer that came out that also drops pretty soon here on June 10th is Infinite, starring Mark Wahlberg. What do you think about this?
Yeah, man, Marky Mark. Gotta like Marky Mark movies. He, the trailer looked pretty interesting. It turns out, I guess he's lived, according to the trailer, he's somebody that's called an infinite who's lived 1,000 lives, and he dies and gets reincarnated and comes back. So that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, the trailer's kind of cool because Mark Wahlberg's character is sitting in a chair he's getting interrogated, and they're playing a little Russian roulette. So he's asking him questions, and he's saying, I don't know, and then he pulls the trigger. So it seemed kind of interesting.
Yeah, it did.
It kind of gave me a little Assassin's Creed vibe where like someone is in a chair and then having flashbacks.
Yeah, and then
to a previous life.
Yeah, and it gave me kind of like a Jason Bourne meets Fast and the Furious 2, right? Because there's a car scene where cars are breaking through the walls of the building and doing all that stuff, and then kind of the Jason Bourne, aspect of it, just with Marky Mark's character. So it looks like it might be a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see it. I'm probably most excited about all this. I don't really like the fact that now I have to buy another streaming service to see this, but it kind of is what it is. This is the day we're in where everyone's putting out their own streaming service.
Mm-hmm, yeah, the cable's going to go away eventually. Everything's going to be a la carte, right? You just pay for the streaming services you want. And
I will say it is kind of nice that it's going to be available in streaming. You don't have to rush out and spend additional money on it, which is kind of nice. So
no, it's definitely nice.
So definitely looking forward to that. Again, that one drops on June 10th. In other Marvel news, we got Brie Larson working out doing one-arm pull-ups.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. One-arm pull-ups aren't that easy, so it's kind of cool watching that she did that.
She's posting a lot of gym stuff. She also did arm hang with the chain across her lap,
the flex arm hang,
like that. So, and we're former Marines. We love pull-ups. So, in the spirit of that, we're gonna do the Brie Larson one-arm pull-up challenge. All right, moving on to the streaming services. Billy, what do we got?
All right, so first let's talk about Invincible, on Amazon. That show's been out for, a month or two now. I know there's been a lot of discussion about it. A lot of people like it, and frankly, I liked it too. I thought it was a great superhero show. Kind of reminded me a little bit of The Boys, right? But I liked...
It's kind of like The Boys without like the sexual kind of stuff, which I think is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, because in the end, it's a cartoon, right? So... But I like the whole aspect how they did. Superhero dad all of a sudden becomes Earth's biggest nemesis. So that was kind of cool how they did that. This superhero or Superman kind of figure, because basically that's kind of what they make him like, right? I mean, he's kind of like Superman basically, except
pretty much, yeah.
Right, exactly.
This is a show that I was not tracking. My son's like, "Dad, you gotta check this out," and I'm like, "What is it?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like a superhero cartoon," and I'm like, "Oh, geez, I don't know about all that." But I gave it a chance, and like all you have to do is watch the first episode if you haven't seen it, and you'll pretty much be hooked by the end. If you like superhero shows and you can deal with cartoons, you're probably gonna like this.
Yeah, and it's definitely not your kid's superhero show. He's talking about his adult son, so you don't want your kids watching this. There's a lot of blood and gore. A lot of stuff that's not meant for children to watch. It's definitely a adult superhero cartoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of violence in this, so be forewarned. But if it started out like your stereotypical superhero origin story, kind of felt a little bit like Spider-Man. I was losing some interest, but how it wraps up at the end of that first episode was amazing.
Yeah, that first episode was kind of slow. First of all, the first episode looks like just like a huge ripoff from Marvel and DC. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, they have like a little Justice League crew running around saving people and things like that. So.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then, but then like you said, at the very end, that last probably 5-10 minutes of that first episode, you're like, whoa, and it just blows you away. And it's like, all right, now I'm into it. Now I'm ready to watch the next episode.
Yeah, so it starts off as you got this guy called Omni Man, and he's like the Superman of the universe, and he has this kid that's coming into his power, so he's trying to show him the way, and it focuses on his kid who's named Invincible, and he's just learning his powers, so he's not that strong yet, and he gets in some interesting situation.
Yeah, and J.K. Simmons does a great job voicing Omni Man.
He is phenomenal.
The guy that plays Glenn in Walking Dead plays Invincible, the kid. So it's he does a good job. So it's definitely a cartoon worth watching. If you're an adult and you're not into cartoons, I think you still like this one.
Mark Hamill voices a character in this. Who doesn't love Mark Hamill?
Absolutely. What a great voice actor Mark Hamill is. He's been probably the longest running Joker in a Batman cartoon ever, right? So that guy's a great voice actor.
So definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
What else do we have coming out?
All right. Well, so we got Loki coming out, right, on Disney Plus. Definitely looking forward to that.
How have you feel about the other Disney Plus movies that have come out?
So I wasn't the biggest...
Wanda Vision.
Yeah, Wanda Vision was good. Wanda Vision started out kind of slow, but it got good, and I enjoyed it. The more I got into it, and the more the story progressed in it, and there's a little kind of stuff in there. It was like, a little hokey, but for the most part, I liked Wanda Vision. Falcon and Winter Soldier, not so much. I just wasn't a big fan of... for me, the villains just weren't big enough. It just didn't have that great, real superhero thrill to it, right? The villains were just kind of subpar, I thought. and just how they just went about that, with just the superhero serum, the super soldier serum, and how they're making all these other super soldiers, and it just, they tried to make these guys into these awesome villains, and it just didn't pan out that way.
Yeah, for me, Wanda Vision, I mean, obviously it was kind of interesting, like it was an old school sitcom in the beginning, so that was kind of interesting. I was cool. A little hesitant about that, but luckily it picked up for me. I really enjoyed the mystery aspect, guessing like what's going on in this world, but actually by the end it kind of fell flat for me. Oh, yeah. So I didn't really like the way that wrapped up too much. I thought they played it pretty safe, so yeah, it was just okay for me.
Well, and that one seems like, I mean, the way it ended, it kind of almost seemed like maybe they're closing it off and they won't have a second season of that. Not sure how it's gonna work, but what I've also heard is, some of that's gonna play into the new Doctor Strange movie coming out. So I guess we'll see how Disney plans on going with that.
Yeah, I was kind of fine with it, but it didn't blow me away. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was all right too, but it didn't. When I look back on that series, I don't remember anything fantastic happening.
Right.
I was kind of disappointed. The Winter Soldier, he was a big character, and he was kind of nerfed in this, I thought.
Yeah, no, he definitely was.
And I didn't really like Falcon becoming the new Captain America. I thought he already established himself, and I don't know why he would even want that role. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was okay with him becoming the new Captain America. That wasn't really a huge issue for me. I just, like I said, I just think they could have done a much better job of the storyline. Then they could have had better villains in it. And
the antagonists were very weak. I mean, that female from the Solo movie, I didn't really care for her there. I don't care for her in this. They definitely needed better villains. And that U.S. agent, like, he turned like awfully quick. It was like, I think the episode before the last, and I was like, what's going on with this? They're gonna do something cool with him, and they just like moved on from that like very quickly. So
yeah, well, and then also just the way they made him all buddy with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, like they hated him, right? And then Falcon became Captain America, and everyone was cool again. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that didn't make sense how quickly that panned out. And granted, it's a short episode series, so they had to fit a lot of stuff in a short amount, short time frame. But
and I think they changed a lot because of COVID and things like that.
Right.
So it probably suffered from that. But I am looking forward to Loki. The trailers look pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this is the one.
I'm definitely hoping that out of the new Marvel Universe shows they're coming out with it, that Loki's definitely going to be the one that's like, yes, that's where you need to go. Because right now I'm just not feeling they're there yet, with their shows. And I'm hoping Loki's going to be the one.
And we also had MODOK drop, another Disney-esque type of show. Has a Disney flavor to it. What do you think of that?
So we just watched the first episode of that not that long ago. I thought it was okay. You got Patton Oswalt playing MODOK, and I guess he helped write the show.
It's very similar to Robot Chicken and has like almost a little Lego movie type of animation style to it.
Right, but with vulgarity and blood and guts and all that stuff. So definitely not a kid's show. Don't let your kids watch MODOK. It's another one of those cartoons that's specifically for adults. It's TVMA. The first episode didn't necessarily intrigue me. I'm hoping it gets better. I think I'm going to stick around for the second and third episodes, kind of to see if I can dig more into it and see if it drags me in more. Because they took MODOK and then they threw him in this family environment, right? So he's got a wife and two kids, and they tried to throw some comedy in there, as him lead name and blowing up some of his minions. But it just really, I think that first episode wasn't that great, but I'm hoping the show gets better as it progresses.
I thought it was funny. I'm not sure about the main character, the way he looks and stuff like that. He looks like a coffee can or something. He looks really goofy to me with his little legs dangling out. But
yeah, that's how MODOK looks.
Yeah, I know, but not really for me. Yeah. I thought it was funny, so I may stick around for a couple more episodes to see how it pans out. But definitely an interesting show.
Yeah. All right, and then on Netflix, we got Sweet Tooth coming out in June 4th. So we watched this trailer. I'd never even heard of this comic before, but evidently it's relatively popular. It's about, I guess, some plague kind of hits the world in the not-too-distant future, starts killing humanity off, and then Mother Nature evidently starts turning kids, all of a sudden these babies start being born as hybrids, hybrid animal, hybrid human. Right, so you got all these babies being born, half animal, half human, and the main character in the show, I guess he gets the nickname Sweet Tooth at some point. He's a deer boy. It looked like there was some action in it. Evidently, there's still a lot of humans don't like the hybrids, and they're kind of hunting them down like animals, right? It shows them running around with rifles and stuff, like they're ready to just hunt these kids down and hang their walls up on, or hang their heads up on their wall.
My problem with this trailer is that the kids don't look hybrid enough for me. All they have are pretty much antlers and ears, at least so far what we've seen. And I would expect them to have facial features or something else that was half human, half animal. And I'm like, you could probably cut those antlers off and he would just have weird looking ears. And I just don't get why people would be hunting them down like they are regular animals. It just seemed a little odd to me.
Yeah, because even the pig girl, right? It just showed her with a pig nose, but that was really it. So I don't know if maybe they're going to show you that they've got hooves for feet or something like that later on in the show.
But the kid looked like he was running normal too, so it was kind of okay. But Robert Downey Jr. and his wife are behind this, I think. So it seems kind of interesting. And I'm kind of on the fence on this one. It looks like it could go either way. I'll probably give it a couple episodes and see how it goes. Yeah,
that's how I feel about it too. I think get a couple episodes, kind of get a feel for it and see how it is.
Has a little bit of a Walking Dead type of vibe to it, Yeah. So I don't know. It could be good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, so what's coming out on the streaming networks as far as movies dropping this week?
All right, so we got a lot of oldies but goodies, right? You got Dodgeball on Amazon.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Absolutely. That
I love that movie. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rip Torn was just awesome in that role.
It's pretty good. I love it.
So,
if you haven't seen it, check that one out.
Yeah, great comedy. Just funny movie. Definitely worth watching. You got Step Brothers coming out. Another good comedy.
One of my favorite Will Ferrell movies. That's up there with The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Right.
What do you think?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think probably Ballad of Ricky Bobby, was probably my favorite one. That one was just hilarious. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't made a Step Brothers 2 yet. That movie was so good. So.
Oh, yeah. That was a good movie.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. And then what else we got, Josh, on Amazon?
Well, Fight Club's coming out.
That's right, it is.
A lot of people love Fight Club. I'm not so into it, though.
I liked it, man. I liked it a lot, actually. I thought that movie was great. I mean, it was...
I feel like that movie's all about the ending.
It is all about the ending, but it's just a different movie, right? It kind of gives you a different feel than anything that you'd had before. You got this freaking guy that has multiple personality disorder that's beating himself up in front of people. Then you don't even find that out till later. Like, holy crap, it's the same guy. But yet he somehow manages to talk all these people into his shenanigans. So I was like, that's. It was a pretty cool premise how they played that out. So I really liked it.
Yeah, the hook, the little surprise ending. I mean, that's like a classic. So I mean, that part is awesome. It's just I wasn't really with it the whole movie. I don't know. I thought the acting was good and stuff like that.
Yeah, acting was
just the
good.
premise just didn't catch me personally.
Yeah. All right, Josh. Well, what do we got coming out on Netflix?
So we got one of your favorites on Netflix, Downton Abbey.
Yeah, loved me some Downton Abbey. No, I really didn't.
Not really my show, but I know it's popular, so we thought we'd mention it here.
Absolutely.
It's not something I'm going to check out. My wife is really into that, but me personally, not my thing whatsoever.
It's definitely not my cup of tea either.
I like that little cup of tea, huh?
Exactly. You like that, right? The English show, cup of tea. Now, but I've heard nothing but great things about it, right? Do I ever plan on watching the show? No, I don't. But again, a lot of people like it. Evidently it was, put together very well. So if you're that kind of person that likes that stuff, then check it out.
And we also have The Big Lebowski dropping on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. The dude abides.
We should be drinking White Russians right now.
We should totally be drinking our Russians right now.
Yeah, what do you think about that movie?
I loved it, man. That movie was awesome. It was funny. Jeff Bridges, just great actor, great character. That show was awesome.
That's amazing. Definitely a good one to catch if you haven't seen it. And then what we got coming out on Hulu?
What do we got, Josh?
Well, we got the Batman movies, The Dark Knight Begins and The Dark Knight, I guess. Yep. Batman Begins, Dark
Knight, yep.
Christian Bale series.
And quite honestly, in my opinion, Christian Bale has so far by far been the best Batman. Aside from maybe the very first one,
You didn't like George Clooney?
I wasn't a fan of George Clooney. No.
Who is?
No, right, exactly.
It's either Michael Keaton or Christian Bale.
Yeah, Michael, I mean, you can't take that away from Michael Keaton. He was the first Batman, and it was a great movie, because you had Jack Nicholson as the Joker, right? So that was, for the time, that was phenomenal.
Live-action Batman movie.
It was phenomenal, but, for today's age, for sure.
The action hasn't aged well in that movie, I will say that. But there's just something about Michael Keaton and Batman that just works for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like I said, Jack Nicholson as the Joker. That was awesome, But then, of course, then you had Heath Ledger come as a Joker, and he was just an outstanding job. And it's funny because when they brought him in, I was like, how are you going to have Heath Ledger play the Joker? And then he blew me out. He blew me away. I was like, holy cow, that guy can do it.
Some people are blown away by the other Joker movie, too.
Yeah. Oh no, that was good. I like that one. Joaquin Phoenix one.
Yeah, that's a different flavor kind of deal.
Totally different flavor. That was a good movie too.
Yeah. And then we also have Kick-Ass dropping. You like Kick-Ass?
Gotta like some Kick-Ass, man. Oh yeah, that was a good show. You know, all these kids running around trying to be superheroes. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I like that. That has like a little bit of Invincible kind of vibe to it as well.
Yeah, kind of.
So that's a good one. We have Weekend at Bernie's, a classic.
Gotta love some Weekend at Bernie's.
You know, I tried finding Weekend at Bernie's too. That's a hard movie to find. It's not on iTunes. Last I checked, it's kind of weird. I know it's not even that great compared to the original, but I love the original so much. I kind of felt like I needed the second one. I couldn't even find it.
It was and it was still a feel good movie, right? That's the cool thing about those Weekend at Bernie's movies. They're just feel good movies. You know, you just sit down, you get to laugh. You know, you're enjoying watching them, just the shenanigans these guys are getting into with the dead body. It's like, you know, this is pretty cool, you know. So I would say, if you know, if you're a younger generation, you haven't watched Weekend at Bernie's, you definitely check it out because you'll get a kick out of it.
And last but least, we have Slum Dog Millionaire. You know what? I haven't seen this movie.
Dude, that movie was awesome, and you need to check it out. Like, I didn't, you know, when it came out and it was winning awards and everybody was talking about it, I was like, you know, I didn't really feel like watching it. Then I saw it and I was blown away, man. I was like, wow, the acting was phenomenal. You know, the story was good. They just, you know, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed watching that. So I highly recommend, you know, if you haven't seen Slumdog Millionaire yet, then definitely check that movie out.
All right, guys, that does it for the weekly entertainment wrap-up. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had a good time doing this, you guys. We hope you liked it. And if you want to show us your one-arm pull-up skills, hit us up on our Facebook page and throw a video on there. Till next time.
See you guys. All right, we got the Brie Larson one-arm pull-up challenge. Let's go.